Good morning, everyone. So let's begin with a new subject, a new semester. So this semester, I'll be handling marketing management, uh, an important paper for as a part of your BCom program. And you don't have many papers on marketing. I think this is the on and only paper which you would be studying on marketing concepts. Most of your papers are either focused on accounting or finance, so you don't have many papers. So this is an exclusive paper that deals with the fundamentals and important principles of marketing management. Now we have met in the previous semester. Uh, I have dealt with income tax one, and I don't think so I need an introduction, but still, since it's a marketing subject, so it's important that I first begin with marketing of self. So I've just put this slide, right? So this is the brief highlights about my journey so far. So I began with corporates after my graduation, and I've worked with various multinational companies. Started with ICICI, then moved on to HSBC. Both were in banking. Then I changed my domain to technical support and worked for IBM. And from IBM, again, I shifted to a new domain, HR. I was a recruiter in Cognizant, a US-based firm, followed by Honeywell. And in Honeywell, I was in the credit risk management department. So I've worked in different domains, from banking, from uh, tech support, uh, HR, and finance. And then, of course, I thought that I should pursue my passion. So I started teaching, and it's been 12 years now since I've been teaching. And in this 12 years of journey, I have published 5 books, including on the subject which I'm teaching you. And of course, I periodically keep doing various research papers. And I also do a lot of quiz show. Unfortunately, last 2 years, I couldn't do it because of pandemic. So that's about me. And these are some of the books what I have written, the recent being on the subject called modern marketing. So let's have some conceptual clarity in today's subject, because it is very important to learn the definitions, because definitions will tell you the subject matter of the concept what you're going to study. And before learning about the concepts, we have to also remove certain misconceptions or certain perceptions what you would have formed about a particular concept, and we have to validate whether the perceptions what you have in your mind, is it true or is it not, right? So I want you people to tell me your perception, but not on the mic, of course, in the chat box, as to what is that you have understood when you hear the word marketing. What is that comes in your mind? What is the word which you would use to describe marketing? So what is marketing according to you? So just give me your perception in the chat box and tell me what is your understanding of marketing. But while you do that, one thing which you need to understand is that once the product is being manufactured by a manufacturer, of course, the product will not automatically reach you people, the final consumers. So there has to be a structured way, a structured mechanism through which the product moves from the point of origin to the point of consumption. In fact, we're talking about producers, manufacturers. So manufacturers, in order to manufacture, also needs need to source raw materials, right? Convert that raw material into a finished product. So their manufacturing also requires certain process, right? So manufacture is also buying this raw materials. So any product has a point of origin. So when we say point of origin, it involves so many steps. So when you say raw material, where does the raw material come from? So the answer is there are various ways through which raw material is extracted. In most of the cases, it is from the nature. We get the raw material. And in some cases, it's a combination of some sort of a fabrication plus the source material comes from the nature. In some cases, it is entirely created without any source taken from the nature. So product has a origin, right? The product in its raw form, where still it is not processed, has some origin. So from there till it reaches the consumer. So what's the journey? So this entire journey is being taken care by marketing. So marketing is required to move the product not just from the point of production, but rather from point of origin, because producer also, right, get raw material. So from that source to you, right, marketing is involved, right? So do you think marketing is all about ensuring that the product reaches from the point of origin to the point of consumption? Is this what marketing is all about? So this is not what marketing is all about, but yes, one of the important functions of marketing is to ensure that the product reaches from point of origin to point of consumption. Now, this function of marketing of ensuring that the product reaches from origin to consumption is called supply chain function. So one of the functions of marketing is supply chain management, but this itself is not marketing. This is one of the functions of marketing. Now, some of the common perception which most of people have about marketing is that marketing has to do something related to sales, right? Of course, selling is also one of the important functions of marketing. In fact, selling is the revenue generating function of the marketing, because all other functions of marketing involves spending money, whereas selling is one of the function that creates revenue for the entire organization. So is marketing and selling the same? The answer is no. Selling is one of the functions of marketing, but selling itself is not marketing. So selling is a part of marketing, right? As I mentioned, one of the functions of marketing. So therefore, it is inappropriate to say that marketing is all about supply chain, marketing is all about distribution, marketing is all about sales. All these distribution, sales are of course these are the functions of marketing. Some people also associate marketing with door-to-door selling, right? So people think, okay, when you go sell door to door, it is marketing. So that's not marketing, that's uh, direct sales. Or you can also use the word door-to-door selling without involvement of any intermediary in between. Sometimes producers do directly reach out to the customers without having any intermediary in between. So that is called direct sales or door-to-door selling. But again, that is not marketing. That is again part of sales, and sales is one of the functions of marketing. Now, one of the most common assumption, one of the most common perception which people have formed about marketing is that marketing has to do something with sales and advertisement. So this is a widely assumed concept. Now, is marketing and advertisement the same? If is marketing and promotion are both same or not? The answer is no. Marketing, one of the important tools used in marketing to promote sales, to generate sales, is promotion and advertisement. So promotion and advertisement, these are two important tools which helps marketing to generate leads, generate sales. But promotion and advertisement itself is not marketing for sure. In fact, promotion and advertisement are also not the same. Advertisement is a part of the promotional mix. Promotional mix has certain components. So promotional mix are set of efforts made by an organization or by the marketer to persuade the customer to buy the product and to communicate to the customers about various products and services. So promotional mix includes advertisement, personal selling, sales promotion, publicity, propaganda. All these components, what I just read out, are part of promotion. So advertisement is a part of promotion. So therefore, promotion and advertisement, which is widely perceived to be as marketing, is actually not marketing. These are part of marketing process, right? These are support functions of marketing which helps the organization in generating the sales. So this is also not marketing. So is marketing something to do with development of the product? Because some people also perceive that marketing has to do something with product development, and product development is one of the important steps in the marketing again process, but product development itself is not marketing. So these are some of the perceptions people generally have when they think about marketing, that marketing has to do with distribution of goods from producer to consumer. Marketing has to do something with sales. Marketing has to do something with promotion. Marketing has to do something with advertisement. Marketing has to do something with product development or product launch. All these are part of the marketing activities, but this itself is not marketing. So that's one of the reasons it is first important to understand the concept, because once you understand the concept, you will come to know what this subject is all about. So what exactly then marketing is? If marketing, all this what I just read, if it is not actual marketing, then what is marketing? This is what we will be trying to understand in today's class. The objective of today's session is to understand what exactly marketing is and what exactly is done in the marketing process. So this is the definition of marketing given by the Chartered Institute of Marketing, which according to me is one of the most accurate way of defining the marketing. So the definition goes like this: marketing is a management process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements profitably. So if you have to put this entire definition into a one word explanation, then I would say marketing has to do more with customer. Marketing is all about dealing with customer, right? So the starting point, the focal point, or the foundation of all marketing activities is customer, right? So marketing is all about doing three things. First, you have to identify what is that the customer wants. And that's not sufficient, because what customer wants, what customer needs does not remains constant. Over the period of time, customer needs, customer wants keep changing. So you have to also anticipate that, okay, now the customer wants this particular product to satisfy his need, but the same need might not be there in the future. The needs may change. Needs keep changing over the period of time. So you have to also anticipate what is the need of the future. So that is also important, right? You might be using, you may have a need, right? Since you have now most of the PUC results have come and admissions are going on recently, all your juniors, your first year students had the orientation program. Assuming that the classes will go offline very soon, and if it does happen, what will happen? Most of all these PUC students who have just completed their 12th and who have joined the degree program, all of a sudden now a need will arise. Okay, how will we commute from our residence to the college? So there is a need. What is the need for? The need for transportation. So how do we satisfy this need as a marketer? What is the solution you're providing to all the college going students who has the need of transportation, who has the need of commuting? So of course, you can offer them bikes, scooters, right? You can also offer them a bike sharing solution. Some of them might not be in a position to afford to buy a new bike or a scooter. So for them, what is the alternative, right? So can they hire a bike to commute? The answer is there are marketers who have worked on this concept also. There are marketers who are selling bikes and scooters. There are marketers who are right into business of uh, ride sharing, like Rapido, right? So you can book a bike and somebody will come you and pick up and drop you. So that is possible. There are marketers who will rent out the entire scooter or car or bike to you, right? Whether it is Bounce or whether it is Vogo. So you can hire a bike. So you see there are different solutions to different needs. That is what marketing is all about. So I as a marketer cannot assume that, okay, there is a need for transportation for college going students who have just completed their 12th and they are joint degree, and this is the age, right, when they are legally permitted to have a license, right? So I can assume that everybody can afford to have a bike or a scooter. So the needs are different. Some can afford, so those who can afford, we can sell. Those who can't afford, we have to have another solution for them, right? Solution of renting it. So first and foremost important thing is to identify the need. So that is the starting point of the marketing concept. In order to identify need, you need to know your customers, for which you have to do a marketing research. So marketing research will tell you what is missing, what is that the customer want, and what is that available in the market, and what is available in the market, is that accurately satisfying the need of the customer, or is there a gap, or is there a gap. So it all begins with research. So research will help you to understand the situation and identify the need and develop a product that can precisely meet that need what you have identified through your marketing research, right? So all of a sudden this pandemic started and education industry had to transit from offline to the world of online classes. So marketers immediately identified the need. Okay, that yes, there is a need all of a sudden which has arisen because of the educational institution going online. So they need a platform where they can deliver the content to the students. So many companies overnight prepared various kind of products to meet the needs of educational institutions, to meet the needs of the students, to meet the need of the entire industry. So this is the first thing. You have to do a research and find out what is the need. So if you're satisfying the need already, then it's well and good. But the thing is that it might not remain the same. So imagine now you are using MS Teams and there are Zoom or Cisco WebEx. You also have Google Meet, Google Classroom, Geo Meet. So many products are there. All these products are primarily earning at the moment through a source, which is educational institutions. But what happens tomorrow? Pandemic gets over, right? The classes resume as life gets back to as normal it was a couple of years back. So what will happen to these companies? So they have to also think what will happen to them in the future. So right now their main customers or prospective customers, sorry, their main customers, the present customers are educational institutions. But in case if the pandemic gets over, what will happen? There will no longer be a need for this product for educational institution. So that anticipation should also be done. It's not about satisfying the present needs. It's also about identifying what is the future need. So that is also an extremely important step in marketing. And all that solution you develop after doing all the marketing research, you have developed a product, you have also anticipated what is the future need of the customers. and based on that, the products what you have developed, what is that you're offering to your target customers should satisfy their needs. If the needs are not being satisfied, then your entire marketing process has failed. All that marketing research what you did, all that product development what you did, all that marketing communication in the form of ads, in the form of promos what you did, right, all that sales strategies what you had built, everything will go in vain because ultimately the customer is not satisfied with your product. So the end goal here is to ensure that your offering meets the needs and it results in customer satisfaction. And this has to be done profitably. So this last word is quite interesting. It comes as a icing on the cake, because if this last word is not being done, then the entire objective of marketing is not being met. In fact, you people have also studied financial management, or I don't know if you're studying this semester. One of the important objective of finance or financial management, or forget about financial management, one of the most important objective of any business organization is profit maximization. If that is not happening, then what is the purpose? Right? So all the marketing efforts should result not in creation of sales, but it should result in generation of profits. If they don't result in generation of profits, then of course you have to do a reflection and figure out uh, what can be done to make the marketing activities designed in such a way that it should create profits. But most of the startups eventually don't focus on the last bit here, which is the profitability, right? Because marketing has different objectives. One of them being is profitability, and the main objective is of course profitability, and that's the reason that has become a highlight of this definition. One of the important goals of marketing is also survival, and that's what most of the startups do focus on. Whenever a new startup comes up, they don't expect, right, or they don't have a desire to earn profits overnight, because they know that first they have to go through the struggle. First, they have to ensure that the customer need is met. Customer likes their product. After using the product, customer feels satisfied, right? So that these are some of the important priority areas first. Then comes the profitability is the last objective. The initial objective is to first persuade the customer to try the product, to ensure that the customer is happy by using the product, to ensure the customer repeats the sales, right? So profit comes at a very later stage. And given the fact that there is so tough competition, and in the tough competition, surviving itself is a great task. So you should survive. Even though we might see in certain type of businesses, you might not have too many players, you might have just one or two major players, you might kind of have an oligopolistic structure in the market, but still survival becomes difficult. So if you say that the the larger online marketing or the e-commerce segment is duopoly, a kind of inappropriate statement, but still you would feel to some extent it's true, because we have only two major players in the online or e-commerce segment, which is Walmart and also your Amazon and Walmart, which owns Flipkart. So is this the duopoly? The answer is no, there's no duopoly. Of course, there are so many other players, but by and large, these are the two players who dominate the market, right? So if somebody new comes into the market, of course, it will be a very tough task for that organization to survive, right? When it comes to food, grocery shopping, online shopping, food and groceries, of course. So in this also, you have few dominant players like uh, Big Basket, Grofers, right? And of course, Flipkart Supermarket is also there in the segment. But if tomorrow a new player wants to join the party, a new player wants to do a similar kind of business, of course, anybody can start. The market is free, right? Free to enter, free to exit. But the survival becomes quite difficult. It's not as easy as it looks. So whenever a new company starts, right, the objective is of course to make profit, but not immediately, at a later stage. eventually it is all about survival. So don't think that profit is the only objective of marketing. Marketing has a lot of other objectives also, which we will discuss over the period of time. But one of them is, of course, profitability. And all your startups are at the moment focusing on that last term called profitability. Because when we examine the profitability of most of the startups, they are not profitable. Forget about startups. I'm talking about startups who are already established. A company like Swiggy has so far not delivered even one rupee profit. A company like Zomato, which went public recently by issuing shares for an IPO, has not delivered profit. It's all about creation of sales, and all that revenue that gets generated in the form of sales gets disappeared because the costs are so high. So even players like Swiggy and Zomato, who are there in the business for a while now, has not delivered any profit. Forget about Zomato and Swiggy. Walmart, which owns Flipkart, has not delivered any profit so far, right? Amazon has not delivered any profit so far. So they are still working on that last bit, profitability. So that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is also to ensure that all your marketing efforts gets converted into profitability. If that is not happening, then of course some point in time, if you are not able to achieve that end result, you have no option but to shut down your business operations. And there are many players who have disappeared from the market because they are not able to achieve the last point there, profitability. Many of them have disappeared from the market, right? In fact, so many e-commerce startups who did join the party when Flipkart was doing well, Amazon in the initial stages when this concept started. Some of them don't even right exist now. I'm sure you guys would have heard of a food delivery app called FoodPanda, who was a rival for Zomato and Swiggy. So where is FoodPanda now? So FoodPanda died out of hunger, right? Not hunger of food, but hunger of profit. Food Panda could not survive the competition. And of course, it was never able to generate profit throughout its existence. And so the situation was so bad that it was not able to cope up with the mounting costs. And as a result of this, Food Panda was taken over by Ola, and Ola also found it unprofitable. So therefore, it was financially not viable to operate the company, and it was closed. So profitability is, of course, one of the important result of all the marketing efforts. Now we'll also examine the definition given by Philip Kotler, who is perceived to be the guru of marketing. So he also has a say on the definition of marketing. But let me quickly recap the definition given by the Chartered Institute of Marketing, which seems to be more appropriate definition. So marketing here, as per Chartered Institute of Marketing, is defined as the management process, right? So I've explained you the concept of identifying, anticipating, satisfying the needs of customers profitably. But what is this management process is that I didn't mention. So what is management process? Now you people have studied management, and you know management process. Management itself is a process which involves planning, organizing, coordinating, staffing, and controlling. So do we use all these management principles and processes in marketing? The answer is absolutely yes. Do we use planning in marketing? The answer is planning is used at both micro level and macro level, right? The moment you launch, before even launching the product, right, you have a plan in place. The moment you conceive an idea, okay, this is my idea. So let's come up with electric scooters for Indian market. So that's my idea. So I have formed an idea in my mind. The moment I form an idea, the next step is to prepare a plan to execute my idea. So even before the product has come into the market, the process of planning has already begun, right? So do we apply the concept of planning in marketing? The answer is very much. Planning is an essential component of marketing or any other functional area of business. So that's the reason the definition begins with that marketing is a management process, because in management we do planning. So what is coordinating, or what is coordination? It's a grouping of activities which involves departmentalization, defining the hierarchy, who's the CEO, who's the chairman, forming various departments. In the organization, you people are aware that there are departments like HR, marketing, finance, research and development, production and operations. But within marketing department, also there are sub departments. So within marketing department, there's a product development and innovation department, there is sales, there is promotion and advertisement, there is public relation department. So within marketing also there are departments. So when we say coordinating or coordination, it is grouping of activities. So that is something which we do in marketing also. Do you need staff for marketing? All the functions of marketing are carried out by people, and people play an extremely important role in the marketing. So yes. Now what is this so-called controlling? Controlling is an important managerial activity, or it's an important management process in which you first define the standards, you set the standards, and then you measure the results with the actual standards. And if there is any deviation, you have to come up with corrective actions. So that is extremely important. So do we do this in marketing also? The answer is yes, of course we do this in marketing also. Now, recently, Mahindra and Mahindra, which is into various types of businesses, and of course automobile is one of their important businesses, and they have recently launched XUV 700, which is their flagship sports utility vehicle, and the predecessor of this XUV 700 was XUV 500, which was of great success. It gave a new identity to Mahindra. uh, in fact, it helped Mahindra in expanding its market share, expanding the international reach. Mahindra earned a lot of respect from the customers because of this product. There was the brand loyalty increased, right? So this particular car has done wonders. And after a very long period of time, a new upgrade has been done and XUV 700 was launched. Now, at the time of launch, and before, forget about at the time of launch, Mahindra at the time of designing the product XUV 700 would have done a lot of homework, because when XUV 500 was launched, the situation was different. At that time, we did not have so many competitors in India's automobile industry. When Mahindra XQV was eventually launched, there were only few players. But now things have changed. Customer needs have changed. Scenario has changed. Market has changed. Now the competition has become even more tougher, because the entire SUV segment, the sports utility segment, is totally being dominated by players like Hyundai, right? And now we have a new entrant which has taken the entire Indian automobile industry by storm, that is Kia. So Kia was launched recently, and in short period of time, it has become top three car makers in India. So now Mahindra has challenges which are far more greater than what it had when it launched XUV 700. So Mahindra had to work hard to make the product more competitive, and it has done a lot of research, planning. Finally, the product is launched. Now, of course, it would have set some targets that in the first month after the launch, we have to sell so many units of cars, we have to expand our market share by so many percentage. What if it doesn't happens? That is where the top management will meet and discuss, okay, this were our targets and we have not achieved it. So what went wrong? Where is the deviation? So that's what controlling is all about. First, you have to set the standards. Then you have to measure the actual results with the standards what you have set. And if there is a deviation, then you have to come up with corrective measures, corrective actions. So in our example, if Mahindra is XUV, the flagship model, which is being launched with an aim to capture the growing SUV segment in India, if it is not able to capture customers, if it is not able to generate sales, if it is unable to improve the market share of Mahindra, then of course the top management will meet and find out what went wrong, right? So that is what the last step of management is, controlling. So when we say marketing is a management process, we apply all this in marketing also. That's the reason the word management process becomes the highlight of the definition in the beginning. Now, coming to the definition given by Philip Kotler, which more or less draws a lot of inspiration. You can find some similarity between the first definition and this one, but there are new elements that are also being added. Now, one of the new element of this definition is that it says it's a societal process. That means it's a process that deals with human beings, right? So marketing caters to the needs of human beings, right? It's a societal process. It's a process in which community is involved, society is involved, people are involved. So with the help of marketing, what individuals do is they obtain what they want, right? So marketing is a process through which you people, we all individuals, the entire society gets what they want to satisfy their needs, right? If you're hungry, there's a product. If you're angry, there's a product for anger also, right? If you want to commute from one place to another, there is a product. If you're bored, you need some entertainment, there is a product. For all your needs, marketing has products. And that's what we do. Whenever need arises, we go to the marketer, obtain what we want. So that's what marketing does. And that's what Philip Kotler is trying to say here, that it is a process through which individuals obtain what they want. So how do we obtain what we want? That's a question mark. The answer is we obtain what we want through an exchange process. We obtain what we want through an exchange process. Now, what is exchange process? Just reflect on how do you buy things. The answer is you pay money and you get what you want. So in order to get what we want, there's a transaction, and this transaction involves buying and selling. And buying and selling involves to pay for something and to get what we want. Right? So this is what exchange is according to marketing. Marketing says if you want to obtain what you need, you have to go through the exchange process. Exchange process is nothing but buying and selling, trade. So the question mark is, in order to create exchange, you have to buy and sell. You have to pay for what you want to buy. Is it not possible to obtain what we want without having to go through the exchange process is what my question is. Because Philip Kotler says if to obtain what you want, exchange needs to be created. So if I am feeling thirsty, I might probably go to a juice center, pay their 20 rupees and have one drink. So exchange is being created and my need is being satisfied. My need was that I was thirsty. So I obtained what I want through an exchange process. My need is satisfied. Marketing process is closed. The question is, without this exchange process, can we satisfy our needs? The answer is yes. Options are available. Exchange is not the only means of satisfying the needs. Or in other words, exchange is not the only means of obtaining what you want. There are other means also. So what are the other means? Some of the means you might find quite funny, right? But there are options. Of course, the first is something what our ancestors would have done centuries back, called captive consumption. So what you want, you grow and you eat. Right? People used to grow all agricultural products. People used to make things which they wanted. So there was no exchange at all. I only grow things, I only eat it. If I need something, I only make it. So there's no exchange, right? So first one is to create things and consume, captive consumption. This is also one way of satisfying your needs. Second way of satisfying your need is through begging, right? Sounds funny, but yes, this is also an option available. To obtain what you want, you don't have to pay and obtain it. You can beg, of course, right? There are a lot of people who do this, unfortunately. So begging is also one way to, right, obtain what you want. The third one seems quite interesting. Coercion, obtaining things forcefully, right? We have seen this in movies. The villain will take one rifle, one gun to a supermarket stores, especially in Hollywood movies, and he will get what he wants. So he will buy things, he will take the cash from the cashier, exchange not required, take what you want, right? So even though we have options like captive consumption, begging, coercion, the best way to obtain what you want is through exchange process, and that's also a legal way of doing it, right? Pay for it and get the things. So Philip Kotler says marketing is a process, societal process through which people or individuals like me and you, we get what we want through an exchange process, right? So that's the highlight of this definition. And Philip Kotler says this exchange process, what we are going through, that is paying for what we want, should result in value. Now that's a very important term in marketing, and this is the term which most of the marketers are scared of, because marketer wants to ensure that the exchange should result in value. If it doesn't result in value, it leads to customer dissatisfaction. When there is a customer dissatisfaction, it means you have lost the customer. It is not just that you have lost the customers, but you might also lose prospective customers. So that's the challenge. How? So first of all, what value is? Value in simple words is the sum total of benefits what you have received for the price what you have paid. It's the total of benefits what you have obtained by paying a certain amount of money. So if you feel that price is equal to benefits, it creates value. But if you feel price what you have paid and the benefits what you have received, price and benefits, remember these are the two variables. If benefits has exceeded the price what you have paid, it does not only results in value, but it also results in customer delight. But the third situation is something which marketer does not wants to happen. When the customer feels the price is much higher than the benefits what he has received. If this situation occurs, this leads to dissatisfaction, and dissatisfaction means, as I mentioned, the customer will not come back to you again. That means you have lost the customer. It's not just that, the damage is beyond this, because this guy who is dissatisfied, now he will spread all that hatred on the social media and through word of mouth, and your brand image gets dented. So you're not just losing the existing customer, you might also lose prospective customer. And that's the reason why Philip Kotler is focusing on the word value, which has become an extremely important component in the present context. All marketers are doing all that they can to create this concept called customer value. Because, I just mentioned the consequences of not doing this. So this is extremely important. So this is what marketing is all about, right? So we also have another point to discuss called the marketing process now, since we are running out of time, and I also want you people to ask me some questions. So let me quickly recap what is that we have discussed in today's session. That marketing is a process through which we obtain what we want through an exchange process, and this exchange process should create value. This is as per Philip Kotler. And as per Chartered Institute of Marketing, marketing is a management process through which individuals, people like me, and of course, even the business organizations, the marketer has to identify their needs, anticipate their future needs, and satisfy their needs profitably. So this is what marketing is all about. So the focus of all marketing activities is the customer, right? So all other things, what we initially debated on, they are all part of marketing, whether it is sales, distribution, promotion, product development, advertisement, all these are activities of marketing, but this itself is not marketing. Marketing is all about identifying and satisfying the needs of the customers. So now if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask your questions. Okay, in case if you do not have any question at the moment, but in case any question, if any question arises a little later, then definitely you can ask me in the next class, or also alternatively message me on MS Teams and I'll get back to you. So we will meet in the next class as per the timetable. So take care. Goodbye.
Thank you